to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning. Well, welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay and Big E. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, Mike.
No, you're not. You are a liar. You're a liar and a little man. I am equally as tired as you are.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we will. We'll power through. Good morning, everybody. It is early for us, and coming off a big, exciting day.
Oh, a big, exciting day, huh?
Yeah, very exciting.
What an utter embarrassment.
First off, number one, thank you to Alex over at the Palace for having us out. Gave us a sweet tour.
Yeah.
Got us on the floor. If you have Periscope and follow us on Periscope, you saw the worst shooting in the history of shooting.
Oh, I was embarrassed. For every member of the Detroit Cast in this room, thank God you had your children there to sort of at least hit the rim. We were. If I was the Palace, I would.
By the way, I wasn't embarrassed by my shooting.
Oh, you should.
I'm not.
Oh, you should be horrified.
I never took real shots. If I'd sat there, I didn't go to the Palace to shoot 10-foot jumpers. I'm sorry.
That's true. You were heaving from half.
I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not saying I'm great, but
you're not.
You don't, dude. I'm confident that if I sat there and hit 10-foot jumpers, I could have.
Well, weren't you doing that in the one-on-one game we played?
No, I'm talking. I'm talking about undefended jumpers.
Yeah.
Dude, I probably took 30 shots, including during the game with E.
Yeah.
And I probably made 5 and airballed 19.
Oh, I didn't get any of those 5 you made. Oh, you're counting the 3.
The game with E.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, and that includes layups.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah, I had one layup that I think went in.
I can recall that. I can recall a baseline 10-footer that E made.
Which is one of the only ones I actually shot, other than in the game, which although I will say,
what was the score of that game?
3-0.
But who won? Wait, you won 3-0.
No.
You won 3-0, right?
No, I lost.
The King. You challenged the King,
right? And I lost. You're right.
Talk shit.
I did not talk shit. I never talked any shit. I just said we should do this. I didn't talk shit.
Luckily,
I do think I would have. I thought I was gonna win. I will say that. But
luckily, we filmed that.
Right.
Big E taking on the King and some 1-on-1 up to 3.
Speaking of some ugly basketball.
Oof.
Yeah,
it's on tape.
I've never been a great basketball player, but I will say the worst of my skills definitely comes, and that's not because I'm not making an excuse, but I've never been good one-on-one. Never. I don't have any moves. Like I can come off maybe, not a screen, but I'm.
He's like Rip Hamilton.
No, but I mean, I can have a little. If I can get a set jumper, I can be a little better. But
just give him a pick and roll.
I have 0 one-on-one moves. I've never really been a very good one-on-one player, and I was obviously dying.
That's my God, that was the biggest thing.
My in shapeness is.
His in shapeness is not good.
That was telling tale.
Dude, I was getting tired watching him get exhausted.
I was worried about him.
How bad
he was huffing and puffing. This was like a 3-minute game that he and I played, and he was drenched in sweat.
I know, dude.
Drenched.
I was. Well, the sad thing is I was tired before the game even started. I was sad.
The stank was palpable. It was like you could cut it. He stank like ass as we were just walking around the
it
Palace.
was bad.
It was amazing how bad his BO was.
Probably should have taken a shower before I went to that tour, but
I probably should have. A lot of fun. God, you get such a level of respect for the guys that do that for a living when you see how easy it is for them to just pull up threes, half-court shots. They'll bang those all day long, and it's like, dude, I was honestly just happy from 8 feet out getting rimmed. Just don't airball. Try not to airball. I don't mind a brick. I don't mind just touch the rim, at least net. I mean, it
was really bad.
So bad. Oh,
yeah.
I wouldn't let us back if I was the Palace. I don't even know if I'd let us attend an event.
Yeah, Alex was kind of like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good thing your boys were here because they at least hit rim. Yeah,
it was sad. What a cool venue. I mean, I've been there for countless concerts, but it's amazing how much work has been done to that place. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
he was saying Goris put 50 million into it just recently.
It shows.
Yeah.
I've always been the thing. Well, the thing is, the Palace has always been good. Like, it's never been out of date.
It was
but
so
there's
before
been-
its time.
Right.
To open that thing in 89 and have it still a very nice venue.
Mm.
It's ridiculous. It was the one that changed stadiums.
Yeah.
You know, the big wide concourses,
Right.
the suites
Suites.
near the court. And as you said, man, the improvements Goris made are really evident and really spruce it up.
Yeah.
It's nice looking.
Well, the new
When was the construction for all this stuff?
dude,
like,
they've
it
been doing it
seems
little
like-
by little, dude. They have.
I know, but to see it all in play and all wide open, it's like, wow, when did this all happen? Because I've been there consistently a few times a year
I've not.
since it opened.
I mean,
I'm there.
I drive by it every day, but I haven't been inside more than twice in the last 5 years.
Really? Yeah. I've been to a lot of shows there. I guess Black Sabbath is there this weekend.
dude. I've
Which is
always
cool.
the thing is also, and it's obviously just even better now. They have bigger screens, bigger all that stuff. But when the Pistons are winning, man, I think it's the best venue. Loud wise, the crowd gets into it. Everything about the Palace, I've always enjoyed it so much. When the Pistons are winning, for sure, dude.
Yeah. If you get an opportunity to tour the Palace like that, it's definitely fun going in some of the upper levels and the suites and down below. And
And if you get to shoot on the court, I probably advise not to videotape that.
yeah, it's probably fair.
Dude,
Don't periscope it for hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, a couple hundred.
Don't put up a one-on-one video on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you want to see the Periscope video, go to Periscope, download the app or whatever it is, and do it quickly because those videos disappear after 24 hours. So if you want to see what we're talking about,
coming up short, about 10 feet short on every half-court shot.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, whatever.
Hey, Manny hit one.
I know.
I'm sure E thought he hit one.
I know. I
Yeah.
had one where I thought it was in.
Dude, I'm under the basket and I'm just standing straight under the net and I have to go like this and like reach behind me to catch the line drive that he threw.
Mhm.
And he starts celebrating. The thing went through the
Dude,
side net.
I just heard the net. You know what? I looked up.
But
I thought
physically, how am I like
I didn't see
reaching
where
like
you
a wide
caught it.
receiver to
I
catch
wasn't
it?
even paying attention to where you caught it. I threw it up.
Yeah.
I heard the net, and I just thought it was in. Holy crap! I finally did it. But
Yeah,
no.
he was resenting Manny's.
I was
half-court
not
shot.
happy. I'm
Yeah.
getting very sick of the Detroit Cast family, the whole family. Not the Sweet Pie, I guess, but everybody else in
Yeah.
the family is starting to be the bane of my existence.
Sweet Pie dressed herself yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Am I correct in that?
leopard skin coat.
And boots.
Yeah,
I don't know what
boots
those. I don't
and-
know what those boots. What were those
Ah,
boots,
dude. I don't know.
She is a piece of work.
Oh,
She
like
cartwheels on the floor.
I know. Here we are shooting baskets, and she's doing.
She's sitting up in the stands. She's in the
Watching.
palace by herself, just watching. What a poops.
God, dude.
Hilarious. So I hope the kids had fun. That was a lot of fun. And,
Yes.
and again, thanks to Alex for being a listener. And it was cool to hear how he found the show too.
Yeah, that was bigger to me than anything.
Yeah, just kind of searching podcasts and then finding ours and being like, yeah, this will make nice background music while I study. And then quickly was like, yeah, this isn't background music. I need to listen to this. And he's been listening ever since, which is very cool to hear.
Dude,
So,
that was an absolute, for me, dream come true. Like, honestly, to God, dude, that's something I would never. To maybe get a shot one time. I've actually shot a free throw on the
Did you
court
make it?
once that I missed
Mm.
back years ago. But like to have a legit half-hour shoot around on the court was nuts, dude. I never would have thought that's something I would do in my life.
It was cool. So, Alex, thank you. And it makes me kind of wonder, like, what have you done for us, listeners? I mean,
yeah.
you
I mean-
personally, you're sitting there listening. Like, you know, Alex
Some
just
people
got
are
us on
getting
the
$500. Some people are.
Alex
but-
got us on the floor of the palace. I mean,
Telling me there's no listener that works inside the big house or inside
Spartan
Stadium or at MIS.
Hmm.
And
Nothing?
I've already
Right,
been
right.
there personally. I've already done laps and stuff, but yeah, we've got to have some other.
I have to say
listeners
though,
that,
you
you
know
know,
what?
fun stuff we could do.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to go on stage for a quick minute, I mean, Jay and I obviously have been on stage at Pine Knob
Yeah.
before.
It's true.
But yeah, things like that.
We're always up for it.
Yeah, we're always up for cool, exciting things.
I gotta throw out the Zamboni thing again. I've done this in the past. The one
Right,
guy
yeah.
offered to teach E and I how to drive the Zamboni. I want to do that,
Yeah,
and we lost his contact.
Yeah,
somehow.
that's true. Dude, I think if there was only, I will say out of the sports, not that I would poo-poo anything on any sporting venue or, like you said, a concert venue. But I think really if it came to actual bucket list things, the only other thing would be is to, unfortunately though, you'd biff. I'd biff so hard, but to hit a ball at Comerica, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, that'd be the. But the problem is with baseball is like basketball, even basketball, it's not easy, but you can hit a half court shot. It's possible. Like there is no chance I'm about to get there and hit a home run. Like beyond no chance. Like you wouldn't even think. Like if I were just to get a putter down the third baseline, that'd be.
Yeah, I went 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 last time I played it.
Although you know what the thing is though, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it's not easy. Yeah, it was a softball game, but where they put up the orange thing in the middle, and it's like I can't even hit that.
Right. Although you know what, dude, I have to say, dude, about Comerica Park.
To be clear, I don't consider myself a pro baseball player or anything like that. Even though I've played,
I don't think anyone did or was suggesting that
on Comerica. I mean, have I technically played a game of baseball on Comerica Park's field?
No,
yes.
softball.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't.
Bat, ball, mitts, people in the stands. Yes, I've done that. So the discussion is for other people. Obviously,
and they've all decided.
I'm very, very humble person by nature,
right.
And so, do I consider myself a pro? That's for others to discuss, not me personally. But I have played there.
Thing though is I'm such a nerd for the old Tiger Stadium and stuff, but just in general, Comerica. Like I would like to do it, but I still haven't fallen in love. I hear Pat Caputo sometimes on the radio when I'm driving home, and he still talks about Comerica Park. Like, oh, I love Tiger Stadium, but with winning, how they've been winning at Comerica Park, it's like built the tradition. So now he's become fond of it.
Winning.
I haven't. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think there's. I mean, am I wrong? Do
No,
you
I'm
guys
the
think
same
about
way.
like it's nice?
Yeah, that's because you were a little kid then. It's easy to get nostalgic for.
Well, that wasn't a classic stadium for sure, but
it was a magical place when you were a kid to go into Tiger Stadium at Michigan and Trumbull, and you're still, right. But walking through that tunnel and boom, seeing the green grass, the green grass.
But Mike, look at other stadiums. Look at other stadiums that have been built right around Comerica Park, like Pittsburgh's, Cincinnati's, the new Minnesota. I just don't think there's anything special about Comerica Park to me. If they didn't have that mild, somewhat, what would you call that? A view of the city, I suppose, a skyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there'd be nothing there.
Shot.
But if you're not sitting right behind, if you're sitting in left field, to me, there's nothing special about it. Whatever.
To me, the worst thing about Comerica is just there's too much stuff, like too many Tiger things, too much on the outside. It's like too garish or something.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
Some people love that stuff. I'm kind of with you. You're talking about the big statues,
and then all the sconces with the the tiger head with the ball that lights up, and just tigers everywhere, and just too much stuff going on. Like it's not sleek or classic enough looking to me or something. I don't know.
I just don't think. I don't know. I think they were between the boat of like the Baltimore stadiums, but before the other new stadiums, and I think they got caught in a middle ground, and I just don't. I'm still just not that impressed with it. I mean, it's great. Whatever. It's nice.
One last thing about the Palace 4. Dude, there are dead spots everywhere.
Yeah, that was really surprising.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I thought maybe one, you'd find one spot, but
I wouldn't think there would be any.
There were a panel. No, you always hear about that. Every court's different.
Yeah.
But I found probably 4 spots where I'm just dribbling normally, and then it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that wasn't just me dribbling. That was a dead spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you could definitely feel it when you dribbled around that the reaction, the ball reacted to the floor differently in certain spots.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about it. Remember the Silverdome? You were out on the Silverdome.
Mm-hmm.
There were spots like
on the basketball court, you mean?
No, on the football field.
Okay.
Where
Turf
you'd be
sucked.
That turf sucked, and there'd be like wood paneling in certain spots. Like you'd be running down the field, and it was like you just hit a spot like at the 10-yard line going into one of the end zones where it gave, and it was just like, what? How did
wow, dude.
Yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird. I don't think the Ford Field is like that, but
no, it's probably not.
I think have you guys ever been on the field at Ford Field?
No.
I kind of have, but it was for the RV show that I went to one year.
But the football field wasn't.
The field was they just put some stuff over it. But there was parts of it where you actually could just walk on the field turf.
Yeah.
I don't know why for some reason, but I want to throw this out there just because reference, like, obviously being in horrible shape on some level.
Oh, I'm worried about the marathon this November.
No, you won't.
October. How are we going to do that?
You shouldn't be. The reason you shouldn't be is I don't know.
Yeah, we are.
you shouldn't be, because there's some weird. I'm telling you, I was telling this morning. Like, I'm out of shape, unquestionable. I have zero burst energy, but I do muscle memory wise, because I've been to the gym even in the last week, and I'm able to run 5 miles. Not great.
What happened during our
3-minute
game, man?
I'm telling you, I'm just.
You almost died.
Horrible.
I did 45 minutes on the treadmill 2 days ago.
That's my point.
Continuous 45 minutes, and I was out literally walking, and maybe like threw up 2 shots and was kind of like,
I need some circuit training, I guess, as it were.
So I don't know what that is, but no, I don't think the two.
It's a different kind of. So the point of me mentioning this is if anyone if anyone knows out there, like once a week, if there's some like 30-year-old basketball pickup games or something that you go to, I would love to start trying to like
for really shitty basketball players.
I admit it's just something that just I'm gonna try to run a few more days a week again, but I need something where I'm doing different than just running. So if anyone has something they show up to, I'd love to show up.
You need some court time.
Yeah.
Hey, sick deals, massive inventory, and TDC love are what Zott Ford is all about. If you want an SUV and you want to spend less than $150 per month, which is lower than most people's cable bill, though the king has no cable, get your ass over to Zott Ford and Holly, where right now 2016 Ford Escape SEs are just $142 a month for 24 months. Watch TV or drive an Escape, your choice. We all know the king chose an Escape and has no cable.
Not a tremendous amount going on in the news of late.
Grammys and politics, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Both of which are kind of in that dead, like the Grammys. I so didn't care about. You watched the Grammys, didn't you?
You know what? I was trying to tweet during the Grammys, and I really found an hour and a half in. Now I know whether people liked what I was saying, probably not. No one seems to, but whatever. But I was trying to get interested into it. And like, dude, I found myself just like, dude, I gave up because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
I flipped it on for a few minutes, and I found the same thing. I just don't care about any of these people.
And the thing is, there is bands out there on some level that I do like. I'm not, of course, at this age into all the new music like we all were at one point. But there's bands out there that I like that play that are relatively relevant. And just stuff that was on there last night, I just didn't like it, man.
Yeah, I saw the Weeknd's performance.
Oh, I thought it was horrible.
I can't get past the hair. I'm sorry.
I actually like the hair.
I can't get past it. The hair is so retarded that I'm just like, I can't take this guy seriously. I just can't.
I would love someone to explain to me. I swear, whatever. I would love someone to explain to me what that song, like, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, and I love it. Like, I've tried listening to the lyrics several times to that song.
Manny told me it's a song about Coke.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does he say?
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
That makes sense.
That makes me feel a little better about it, at least. Honestly, that makes me feel a little better. But like from what I've heard in the song, and I know this is almost all pop music right now. He sings, there's a few lines, then that part comes up, or he repeats that 5 times. I think there's another line, and then he just repeats that part 10 times.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just whatever, getting old, I guess.
Pop music, man.
Yeah.
But it's
passed us by, gentlemen.
But you know what though? It seems like there was pop music forever, dude. But
you always hated it. Like back in the day, you'd watch the Grammys and you'd like 2 acts, and the rest you'd be like, "This sucks." Maybe that's always been a mix of shit on the Grammys.
For me growing up, maybe the difference is that when I was growing up until, I know we talked about this several times, but until post high school, I only listened to country music, and in the 90s, country was still it didn't have the pop yet. And so I think growing up, I always heard, I was watching award shows where you can't just, especially in the 90s, you can't just sing a country song that has 2 lines, and 2 lines. They were all complete songs. So maybe I just didn't realize that. And now I'm just understanding it.
It's back in his Confederate flag days.
Oh, yeah. You still have those Confederate flags, right?
They're in the closet.
Probably worth some good money.
I haven't done anything with them in a while, dude. But I haven't thrown them away.
I think they ended up getting the tribute to the Earth, Wind, and Fire guy.
Oh, yeah. They threw it in there.
Where they had an actual performance for him.
Yep.
So they scrambled and were like, fuck,
really?
we can't look racist. We can't look racist. So we have to do this. And so they scrambled. Did they? I fell asleep, but I heard, as I was like dozing off, I heard him say, coming up next, the tribute to Maurice Williams or whatever his name was. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was like, oh, no shit. They actually scrambled in the last week here and got something together for him.
Well, the reason I thought they did too is, am I wrong? Is Brick House, isn't that Earth, Wind, or was that Lionel Richie? I thought
no, Brick I don't remember.
House.
That's not Lionel Richie.
Isn't that Earth, Wind, and Fire?
No idea.
Shit, I don't remember. Probably.
Well, because during the Lionel Richie thing where they had people come out and sing Lionel Richie songs.
Hello.
Yeah,
Is it me you're looking for?
They threw that in there, so that's
I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your smile. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? I know how to win your heart, for I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you.
Oh, I guess I was wrong. That Brick House was by somebody else. So maybe that.
Who did Brick House? It's gonna piss me off when you say it.
I don't know how to pronounce this. Commodores. Commodores.
Oh my god! Try again.
Say it again.
Try it. You can do it. You got it.
Commodores.
Commodores. Yes, it's Lionel Richie.
That's Lionel Richie's. I didn't
there's
realize,
the payoff.
So that is.
The Commodores. I don't know how to pronounce this. The Commodores. Yes.
Okay, so that's a Lionel Richie. So that's my bad. And then so they only did the one Earth, Wind, and Fire. I always thought that was an Earth, Wind, and Fire song for some reason, but I guess obviously they're not.
Yeah.
Huh. And then Lionel Richie got out there and sang his All Night Long, of course.
All night long, all night, all night, all night long. No,
I actually saw him open for Jimmy Buffett a few years ago, and it was pretty good. I mean,
everywhere we meet, they're dancing in the street all night long.
Actually, in the end, he sang All Night Long.
Why do we remember shit like that?
I don't know. All I remember is the damn head from that video. That's so giant plaster head.
That was Clay, man.
Clay head, yeah.
Yeah, the blind
chick. Yeah,
that's
in the
from
video.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for? Anyway, the other thing that was happening all day yesterday was George W. Bush got on the stump for Jeb
on the trail.
Yeah, he was out there kicking ass. Boy, he looks like his dad now.
Really? Haven't seen him.
Yeah, he looks old as shit now.
Huh.
Yeah. Boy, that presidency ages a man. Because George looked old to me, but he was out there, spent the entire campaign to this point distancing himself. Jeb has from his dad, his mom, and his brother.
But here's the miscalculation by Trump.
Yeah.
Because you're getting to the Trump attacks on Jeb.
Yeah.
How can you talk about Jeb without attacks by Trump?
Right.
The miscalculation is that Jeb is doing that because he's embarrassed or doesn't like the things that his family did. Wrong. I think he's wrong to think the conservative base thinks that too.
Yeah.
Jeb is just trying to be his own man sort of thing by not using the Bush name until really the last couple weeks and getting Barbara and George out there. But man, Trump is way off on this one, I think.
Yeah.
He's really starting to sound really childish and really off base.
Yeah, I agree with you in a sense. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see how it plays. It's an interesting move, and I don't know how calculated it is, if at all. Trump has a tendency to just kind of, that's what I thought at the moment, so I said it. But I think you're right that the base Republicans do not hate George W. Bush.
I really don't.
Do not blame him for 9/11.
Right.
And
there's no question in my mind about that. You're right.
And they really seem to like him, especially in South Carolina, where this is all taking place. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this is deemed a misstep for Trump. He really went hard after him after 9/11. I guess he didn't bring it up the first time Trump Jeb brought it up when they debated a couple debates ago, where he's like, my brother kept this country safe. And Trump yesterday was like, yeah, I let that go the first time he said that. But then when he said it again yesterday, I couldn't let it go. I was like, oh no, your brother was the sitting president when 9/11 happened, when those towers came down. And people are like, well, do you blame him for that? He's like, well, he keeps pointing out that he kept us safe after that. And he's like, that's like a team giving up 19 runs in the first inning and then going, but we had a great game after that. Not good enough. Not good enough.
Wow.
So yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it goes, but I
think it's a major problem for Trump. I think it's a major misstep.
Well, it doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah.
He cleaned up in New Hampshire, as you know.
He's winning.
Yeah, he's
South
killing
Carolina.
it in South Carolina. As far as, and these, these polls are just that.
Wow, winning.
They're polls. You don't really know. I mean, he was leading in Iowa up to the caucus, but where it goes from here, I don't know. But it seems like you don't need. Why would you need to go there? It seems like, I think you were saying it earlier. It seems like a move by someone who's behind, trying to catch up, not the front runner. Why would you bother? And then talking about suing.
Oh my gosh, suing Cruz.
Cruz, and I've never met anybody that lies more than him. He's just a liar. Everything he says is a lie, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. And
yeah, he's obviously been outspoken the whole time, and it's worked for him because the media loves it, and he just gets more and more play from it. But it just seems unnecessary, as you said right now. Like, just chill out. Don't threaten to sue Cruz, and don't hit George W. Bush, and do your thing.
Yeah,
and you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah,
to feel this need to, and it's all ego, man. Like, there's no other reason to do that against Jeb right now. You're kicking his ass.
Yeah, Jeb is of no he's just not a problem at this point. I mean, what's he getting? 6% in the polls?
He's giving him an opportunity to get back into
a window. Yeah,
as people resent Trump and possibly go to Jeb.
Trump keeps bragging too, over and over and over, about he's spending $20 million in attack ads on me, and it's like, yeah, that's what this game is for these guys. Like, he's getting annihilated across the country. Of course he is. I've spent $200,000 or whatever he said, and it's like, yeah, dude, but you're getting free publicity every time you sneeze. It's covered on national news. Like, that's why you're not spending any money. You thought you were going to spend a lot of money, but you caught a wave like burn, the people feeling the burn. You've caught something to where, when John Kasich does something, nobody gives a shit. When Jeb Bush, he's got to be somewhere. It's got to be planned. Like, Trump just goes on Twitter and tweets something, and it gets 1,000 or 2,000 retweets and is covered by CNN. So, it's just a different thing. The other politician-y move that Jeb made yesterday was removed his glasses.
Really?
Yeah. He wasn't wearing his glasses yesterday. They're like, oh yeah, very calculated move. He wasn't feeling, it didn't look strong enough the way he was hunched over. It's like, this right there is what people hate about politicians.
It's like when they roll up their shirt sleeves.
Yeah.
No jacket. Just let's roll them up. Let's get to work.
Time to get to work.
Let's get to work.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I love it when you see them with their rolled up sleeves. Jacket off.
But there's some meeting behind the scenes going, we've decided, we've run some testing, Jebra, and we've decided that the glasses got to go. They look great. Don't get me wrong, sir. They look amazing on you, but
so make you look more vital, more energetic.
Yeah. Like, you're ready to go to work, and we're just going to need you to, and so he comes out and he's not wearing glasses.
Dude,
how's it going, South Carolina? And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? He was wearing Big E glasses like for 6 months.
Dude,
what
I guess
happened?
I didn't notice him wearing glasses.
Yeah, he wears like Big E glasses.
Really?
Yeah. And so I don't know if they
can't picture him. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes when you can't remember if somebody has a mustache or not, you're like, does he have a mustache? I don't know. I have to look at a picture.
Yeah.
Jebra, I guess I just didn't equate with glasses. What's wrong with me? Damn it. I'll be damned he's wearing glasses.
And is that? Yeah, he's wearing glasses there. If you look at him yesterday, though,
nothing.
Sans the glasses. Because his team decided that he's a brooding man, very tall man, very powerful man, and you need to be up there and look powerful. And by removing them glasses, you're going to look more manly.
Yeah.
And so the glasses were gone, and you just know
it's like
behind
you don't
the
need
scenes,
help with anything.
Yeah. Nobody would say that to Trump and have that stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I get what you're doing now. Oh, you're trying to look more tough and manly. I get it.
He needs help seeing. He can't run the country.
Yeah. The other news yesterday was Ted Cruz and the chick that was in the commercial with him.
The porn star.
Well, she says she's not a porn star. I don't know.
Not a hardcore porn star, I thought she said.
Yeah.
She only does softcore porn because she's religious.
Yeah.
Because of her Christian values.
I only heavy pat and grind my vagine.
Yeah.
My nude vagine against nude dick.
She's not doing bang bus videos, granted, but That looked pretty hardcore to me. I mean, yeah, softcore and whatever, but softcore. But Amy Lindsay's her name. She's the one that was in the Ted Cruz spot that we saw that his camp flipped out when someone revealed that she was in softcore porns. Lindsay has been doing the rounds. Of course, people are getting a hold of her, and she said she originally filmed 6 spots for them.
Oh man!
And so they've shelved all of them. So she's really bummed out. I'd been waiting for the ads to air since they were shot several months ago. She'd walked into an open casting call, nailed her lines, getting the part. Unfortunately,
nailed her lines. Wasn't it just what did she even say? I forget. It was like 1 or 2 lines.
Yeah, next time don't vote for a pretty face. Wasn't that her
something
line?
Like that.
See, I nailed the line.
Right.
I could have gotten that part, Jay. Should have been in that.
I wonder if all 6 of these were the same kind of group.
Probably.
Setting,
Yeah.
Just a different take on things.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she was not vetted by the casting company. Had the campaign known of her full filmography, we definitely would not have let her appear in the ad. They're going to replace it with different ads now. I don't know. We talked about it yesterday. I just do not see that as a huge problem. I know you thought it kind of was, but she suggested today that pulling the ads actually made them and her previous acting history much stronger, which is totally true. I mean, we looked up her videos. It was like, oh, cool. Let's see some of her other work.
Yeah.
You know, so she's all of a sudden gotten a new lease on
a little bit of a bump.
Yeah. She said she does believe the things she said in the campaign, though. I'm a conservative person, fiscally, socially, obviously a little more liberal. She said she would even still vote for Cruz. I've always voted on the right. So, you know, I don't know. I think it would there was an opportunity there to look cooler.
No, Cruz is so straight, man.
Yeah. But it shows forgiveness. She's not doing that anymore. And we as a good Christian, you need to forgive. And get past that
evangelical vote.
Yeah. So important to them. Probably not a part of the evangelical vote was remember the couple we talked about the other day in Vegas that were just getting it on the Ferris wheel?
I do, yeah.
More details are coming out about that. And
by the way, if you were, I don't think we mentioned on that. It was very obviously like probably a hookup situation. I don't know if you referenced the fact that they were like one was from New York and one was from
Houston.
Yeah, it was not like
they'd met like within the hour. And he was drilling her in the Ferris wheel.
Vegas, baby.
And he was in Vegas to get married to another girl.
Yes, yes, I love it.
How awesome is that news? Philip
fucking love
Panzica and his 36-year-old fiance, Misty Bozant.
He was on Fianced.
He met her 2 months earlier, and they were so in love that they got on Fianced, and then they whipped off to Vegas to get married.
Awesome.
And but when he found out that she might be pregnant, she's got other kids, by the way. She's a mom to other kids.
He broke it off,
and potentially it could have been some other dude that knocked her up. He was like, oh, fine, fuck you too. And so he stormed off, had like 5 Long Island iced tea, met some skank on the strip, and then took her up on the Ferris wheel and just started drilling her.
Awesome.
Isn't that a great story?
I love it, dude.
He says, and then 2 nights later, the fiance that he traveled there with bailed him out and paid his $3,000 to get him out of jail.
Wow.
It's gonna be a great marriage if it goes through still.
He says it wasn't planned. It was just I felt it. We got up to the highest point. We were like, we're golden.
We're golden.
The security officer first noticed them smoking and undressing. The officer told the pair to stop over the intercom. I guess they have an intercom in those things. I was like, knock it off, you two.
Yeah, knock that off.
We're going to need you to remove your penousal meat from her vagine, please.
Hashtag knock that shit off.
Yeah. And he's like, he was just blinders on. I mean, he was in the zone at that point, so he couldn't hear anything.
You're right. This does have all the hallmarks of a lasting relationship.
It does. I think it's gonna go far.
And I'm hopeful for the future of those children of hers too.
Yeah, I'm sure
now that she's hooked up with a quality dude like this is
gonna set them on the straight. They'll have a nice father figure in their life.
Hell yeah. When the ride was over, they were arrested. He says, I was drunk as fuck. I was running around naked. That's what he said to media. Acting like a little kid again. They both said they were just having a good time and didn't think anyone would notice.
How old is this guy? Like 22 or
27?
I was gonna say I thought it was.
Just wondering.
Yeah. He's 27. She's 36. So 9 years old.
Fiance.
Yeah,
wow.
who he was on Fianced to.
But the one he was banging was like 21, right? Or 22. She was definitely younger than him.
Yeah.
I thought she was like just 21 or 22.
Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Kind of hot too. He said that he appreciates that this chick bailed him out of jail and he feels bad about everything. The thing that hurts me the most is her kids. I love her babies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
do ya?
Does he?
Doesn't that show what a good heart I have? He actually said that.
My God. Oh my God.
It turns out she wasn't pregnant. So, yeah, you live and you learn. What are you going to do?
Right. I mean, how would he have known that? He didn't know. It sounded like she was,
They're just little bumps, bring each other closer.
Every relationship has ups and downs, ebb and flows, right, Jay?
That's right. Hey, at Twin Peaks, you'll find the best kitchen in sports, making everything from scratch and a beer selection ranging from local crafts to their famous 29-degree drafts. Try any of their made-from-scratch teasers like the Peaks Sampler, which includes fried pickles, mozzarella bites, and buffalo tenders. Visit Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge, to watch all the big games.
Dude,
I can go for that right now.
Fried pickles?
Yeah. The sampler in general. Or those pulled pork nachos. Isn't that what those are?
Yeah, I didn't have it.
Oh, so good.
He says he loves love the babies. He's only met this one for 2 months. So how much is like?
Well, he loves the babies. Good for him.
I want to know where.
I just hope they get things together and can get over.
I'm
this
sure they will.
I hate it
Sure
when
they
love
will.
doesn't work out. I hate it.
Yeah. Go to Vegas to get married and end up banging an absolute stranger on a Ferris wheel.
On the just the notion that maybe this chick you're getting married is pregnant.
Yeah.
Not even that I'm pregnant. He just thought she was pregnant.
What a mess.
Each their own. I
Fucking
gotta love it. Yeah, you feel bad for those kids. You really do.
I feel
It's
bad for the kids,
They kind of
definitely.
fucked right out of the gate. But
Yeah, they're screwed.
did you see StarWars.com released a little trailer yesterday?
I did not see the trailer. I heard that they
yeah, you
announced
did though. You did see the trailer.
I did?
Yeah, you did when you saw the end of episode 7.
Oh, okay. They just show her walking up to Luke.
Sort of. I'll play it for you. It's rather short.
And then they announced some new actors for episode 8, right?
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
didn't
said,
see that.
Benicio del Toro's in it.
Is he playing a bad guy?
And Laura Dern. They didn't say what they play, but they announced like 5 names of new character, or not new characters, but people who are in the next one.
Huh. So I guess this shows from a panned out view of the island
Mm-hmm.
that Luke is on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of, the music's kind of, I don't know. I'll let you watch it. You tell me what you think. Brooding,
Ooh, foreboding,
foreboding,
ominous.
ominous. Ah, there you go. So we're looking at,
looking old,
yeah, gray beard.
kind of Jesus-like.
Good. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8.
Now in production. So it's
Kinda
just
weird.
a small little, nothing we haven't seen there.
Yeah.
I don't think. Did they show her
They showed her hand
handing
the
him
lightsaber.
the
Yeah.
lightsaber in the end of episodes? They did. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if it ended with her looking up at him on the hilltop.
So this had to be a situation where they filmed the next scene like already, right? Like,
Yeah, maybe they were already there. I
yeah,
guess. I don't know.
right. I mean, you're not gonna fly everybody back there just because that movie cut and the new one starts. That's already been in the can.
Well, there was nothing new there though. Really, that's the only thing though.
But them standing there and him going, "Hey, episode 8" was probably like, "All right, here we are, on to the next one, episode 8, everybody."
Right.
And they probably just ran that scene.
Yeah. So you're suggesting that they probably filmed, hey, on to episode 8,
Yes.
like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
whenever they did that. Well,
But they did officially start to film in England, I think, yesterday.
oh, okay.
It's
So-
weird. It's weird how British based all those films are in terms of where they've been made. I
Yeah.
don't know why that happened, but maybe labor issues or something early on.
Yeah. I
But
don't
like
know.
even Return of the Jedi and stuff like that, a lot was done in sound stages in England.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, they filmed a lot of it didn't they film a lot of it like in the Middle East?
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tatooine/Tunisia.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so at least they're filming that. I guess they've got a tentative release date for December 15th of 2017.
Okay.
So,
Damn it. We got to wait a year
Yeah.
and 9 months, is it?
yep.
Mm.
Yep. It reminded me though of the Xmas.
Oh my gosh. The Wookiee, the
Yes.
Chewbacca Christmas thing.
dude, I had never seen this, and there's a couple sites that I follow, and one of them was on Facebook, LSG Media, I believe it was, and someone posted on there the full movie, this actual Star Wars movie that
Christmas
was
special in 79,
probably 78. I mean, obviously Star Wars was not what it became, because I don't know how you get these people to play along with this.
Dude, I saw this as a kid.
You did.
I watched this, and apparently this has only been aired one time on network TV, and
it's
until
been
very recently, it was
vanished.
buried.
Yeah.
And what you're referring to, the video that was just posted, only came about like in the last 5 months or something. This thing was a thing of like lore, and Star Wars geeks used to talk about it, like, oh yeah, the Wookiee thing, you know, and it's somewhere, we got to find it, and it was dredged up, and you showed. I come over, and you're like watching, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah,
that's it. I saw that back in the day. I remember my parents going out, my dad grabbing the TV guide and going, well, look at this. There's a Star Wars special on. Would you guys like to watch that? We're like, yeah. So I remember him like telling the babysitter, okay, they can watch this from this time to this time.
Oh,
and we sat down and watched it.
Would do that.
Yes.
I remember my parents doing that. Well, they'll have their dinner.
Yeah.
And then they can watch this from this time to this time, and then it's off to bed.
Yeah.
I totally remember
given that instruction, and we watched that, and that is the shittiest piece of film ever. It, like, I remember as a kid just kind of like,
but it's got in it Han Solo is a young Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill and Chewbacca. Dude,
what is it like?
It starts with like Han Solo and Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon. And they're like talking about what you're doing for the holidays or something, and Chewie's like, "Do your Chewbacca, E. It's great."
I cannot do a Chewbacca.
Yeah, you can.
Come on.
I don't know.
Oh, that was.
You didn't even try that time.
I can't do it.
But Chewbacca's going home to be with his family. I guess he's got
Chewbacca has family.
Yes, dude.
He's got kids
in like those treehouse things, and you see his world. I think in in Revenge of the Sith,
you're right.
Where they have the battle, and it starts with a K. His world, his planet. I can't think of what it is, but that was basically what they showed back in 1978, or like these treehouse type things, and all these Wookiees living in it.
Yeah,
and dude, it was them. It was absolutely like, it wasn't like actors playing them. It was, like you said, Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and the real Chewbacca outfit.
Yeah.
And it was so poorly acted and produced and told as a story.
Yeah. You could go 10 minutes of dialogue of just Wookiee. Like there were no, like it would have like a scene of, you know, they obviously
Didn't Chewbacca have a little brother.
Yeah, or
how long is it?
Son?
Is it like an hour or?
Dude, it was like an hour and a half, and that's probably with commercials. I don't know how long it technically was, but I think the video that I saw was an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 37 minutes.
Wow.
But it shows them in the house, but it's just so dumb. They're trying to be like humans living in these trees, like they're wearing clothes, and
it's like an apron.
An apron, and the mom's cooking, and one of them has glasses on.
Yes,
it's just like, this is so bad, and it really follows the little kid around, which is, I don't know if that's Chewie's son.
I thought it was his little brother, if I'm remembering right.
And he's running around doing what adolescent kids would do, like getting in trouble, and it's so fucking bad though. It's so bad.
I think I remember Han and Chewie showing up though at that house at the end. I don't know how it resolved, but I remember them kind of coming in.
I gave up when you showed up. I was like, oh, Jay's got to see this, because I'd never heard of this before. And I was shocked that you were like, dude, I saw this when it aired.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, it's really bad. If you want to check it out, you can find it. It's out there now, but it's not a home run by any stretch.
What was Lucas's comment about that? Like, Lucas was like, it was shown once and it will never be shown again. Never see the light of day.
Yeah. And that
how did he okay that, man? Damn.
It's probably one of those that sounded great on paper, the idea of it, and trying to catch a wave.
Yeah, keep the momentum going.
Yeah. And at a time when, you had
variety shows. You had like Brady Bunch doing variety show. You had some bad TV, the Muppet Show.
But that's all there was. And so you didn't know how bad it was. Like you could never do that today. First off, you could never bury something like that today.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be crazy to them that there was a time when you could do something really bad. It could air on network television and then not see the light of day again.
Yeah. Oh, like
you
the
just
Super
didn't-
Bowl one. We talked about that.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly. Like try to get a kid to understand that now. Like there's no kid be like, what are you talking
Just
about?
pull it up on YouTube.
Yeah, pull it up on YouTube. Just Google it. And it's funny. It's kind of cool to see in a time capsule. What do you got?
I'm sure I could find it. But November 17th, 1978. So we know what Jay was doing on that day.
Yeah.
At that time,
Hell yeah.
little Jay.
Was
little
that like a
king.
Friday night? Is that
Yeah, I think it was. If my parents were going out,
Bill
it
and
was either
Cheryl? They were
Friday
going
or
out for a nice
Saturday.
romantic dinner and
Yeah,
something
Friday or
like that.
Saturday for sure.
Yeah.
It was an event.
Well, how big was Star Wars in 78? Was it massive then?
It just come out
Yeah, it came out in 77. So
November. It probably came out in the summer of 77.
yeah,
So yeah, we're a good year in.
interesting. Look at this poops.
Dude.
Look at this wee poops.
Oh, we gotta get one. I want him. Let me see him.
You cannot just buy a black child, Jay. You can't.
Dude, he looks like the little guys that is it South Park?
Yes.
What's his name? The starving little Ethiopian guy.
Yes.
Oh.
It's exactly what he looks. Well, it's exactly what he is.
Poor little kid.
Look at that poops.
He's 2.
Yeah. He's 2.
He looks like about the
Well-
size of a 9-month-old, but he's standing there like a little human being. Like, how is look at that little individual?
Jay, they're washing him here in a bathtub. He has no can.
He has
I
no,
don't have a can.
there's no buttock.
He has no
Oh,
can.
this is a little person, man.
Yeah.
We got to get him.
I don't think we can
Why not?
because I think he's gotten. I think he's gone. We'll have to find another one. Plus, there's some information that's coming out about this one that I'm keeping my distance from, to be honest with you. It turns out
Something happened to him.
Yeah. The images that Jay and I are looking at are this heavily tattooed woman who's working over in Africa and finds this emaciated little human on the side of the road. And so she's giving him water here. Yeah, I'm trying to feed him and give him water. But he's a Nigerian boy, and she's a charity worker. It turns out his family like chucked him to the side of the road because they thought he was a witch.
Oh,
I know.
dude.
But
Damn it. These African nations that
well, if
hacking
all right.
albino arms off and shit.
if he's a witch at the age of 2, I mean, he's going to be a wizard by the time he's 5.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, so before you just go like, oh, wow, crazy, just a 2-year-old witch, how much damage could he do? Well,
Well,
his
been a badass to be declared a witch at 2. Is that your point?
that's my point.
Mm.
The witchery is strong with this one, and he's on course to be a wizard at some point, would be my guess.
A warlock.
Perhaps. I'm just saying, and I don't, are some witches are good, right?
Yeah, dude. Watch The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Anyway, the boy is now named Hope. You can't name a boy Hope.
Especially coming from
I mean,
that area.
Especially when there's not much.
yeah, he looks like he's lacking
Like
hope.
you can be named Hope if you
Certainly
Metro
lacking
Detroit
an
area, maybe.
ass.
Yeah, no can. I don't have a can. They blurred out his junk in every picture too.
It's really an amazing picture because he looks too small to be standing there like drinking like that. He looks like a baby that should be held in your arms. That is
You
a
wanna pull the picture
2-year-old
up
little
over there,
person. That is so awful. I want him. Mike,
I don't think they'll give him to you,
we can outbid whoever bid on him.
and I don't want you bringing him here. I don't want you bringing a witch into the house. It's the
It's not a
last thing I
witch.
need. It's the last thing I need. Is
I want
a witch
him and
coming in here.
Hazel living right here.
Hurry
Well,
up,
the
Ian.
dirt base, of course, was
I
real
want those
scary.
2.
Can you move them into your house?
No,
and then you can bring them over for special occasions.
Damn it. That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh, this goes back to my point. We need a kid. We need to sponsor a kid. Everybody could write to him. It'd be great.
The chick that found him is Danish, Anja Loven, and she discovered him naked and wandering the streets by himself. This poor witch. This poor wee witch.
Dude, can you imagine seeing that little individual walking? He's so tiny. He can't be more than 15 inches tall, and he's wandering.
That water bottle is bigger than his torso.
Yeah. Honestly, is that more than 15 or 18 inches tall?
Poor wee witch.
He's not a witch.
That's what
He's not a witch.
his family declared that, not me.
Oh, God.
Oh, that poor witch. Where's his hat? He needs his pointy hat. That poor wee witch.
Poor little kid.
She bent down, began feeding him and
Is he
giving him
holding a
water
can
from
of
a
Red
bottle.
Bull? Kid doesn't need Red Bull.
I don't think it's a can of Red Bull. He's
He's
holding
on a can of something.
I swear to God.
Look at that little guy, 2 years old.
I tried to pinch the picture, Jay, and zoom in on it on the piece of paper.
Oh,
Look at it, poops.
he's not a witch.
Hi,
Oh
witch.
my God. Stop calling him that.
Look at
Oh,
witch.
dude.
Oh, poor wee poops. He's got a cracker in that one. She said her son's playing with him. Scroll down. Yeah, I'll show you.
How do you play with him?
Look at that washed up witch.
This little guy wandered the streets alone.
Keep going down. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't have a can. Look at it.
He has zero ass.
None.
It
Keep
goes
going,
from
Ian.
back to ankle.
That's her son.
Okay.
She's the she then wrapped this sick toddler up in a blanket, holding it in her arms before taking him to the nearest hospital for treatment. There he is. Look at him getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
She's the founder of African Children's Aid Education and Development Foundation. Could use a new name, but I'm assuming they do good work, which she created 3 years ago to help children who have been labeled as a witch. I guess this is a real reoccurring problem. They have a witch issue in Nigeria. And so thousands of children are being accused of being witches.
My gosh.
And if even a small percentage of them actually are witches, that's scary. That's dangerous. These poor people.
Is that just that excuses they don't need a kid?
Yeah.
You
I don't
think,
want this
like-
one. This one only has 4 fingers.
Or just
He's
in
a witch.
general.
He's
They
a
just-
witch.
They just didn't want.
Yeah. That
Um,
baby's ugly. He's a witch.
Well, this particular witch here that we're talking about,
It's not a witch.
his family chucked him off to the side of the road. They were like, "Ugh, we do not need the witch around here. We've got enough shit going on wrong in our lives. We don't need this witch ruining things." So they gave him his broom, stuck him on the side of the road, and then the townspeople, just for 8 months, this witch walked around by himself.
That's what I'm saying. If you see this little individual, you cannot imagine this little person walking around.
Yeah.
He's 18 inches tall.
Yeah.
My
But
gosh.
he'd sit there and people like townspeople would walk by and they're just like, another witch. And they'd chuck scraps at him. So like, I'm done with this pizza crust, I guess. And they just chuck it to him and the witch would just sit there and eat his scraps.
How was he not picked up by a hawk or something? Honestly,
I don't know.
a bird of prey.
I don't know. He's so wee. Now, the good news for Hope is I don't know if any demons have been cast away or anything like that at this point. But this chick was like, yeah, I need help. I've got another witch here that we're trying to cure. And she raised like $1 million overnight. Like
Good.
people donated money out the ass to help this young wee witch.
He's not a witch.
I don't know. That's per the family. I didn't make that up. I did not make that
so
up.
cute, this little
Yes.
guy.
I don't think you can have him though. He's a
want him.
millionaire
I
now.
want him.
And she's like, yeah, this will help me get the witch healthy again, and then we'll have plenty of money to build a house for other witches.
Him and Hazel
So
would
it's like
complete my
Hogwarts.
family.
They're making Hogwarts apparently over there.
Yeah.
And take all these witches in, and I don't know.
They'd complete my family, Mike.
You think so?
Perfect.
Dude, he's not going to stay that size. You know that, right?
Oh,
It's not like a toy. No, I know it looks like an adorable Proofs, but he's going to grow up at some point.
He's not a pygmy.
No.
Yeah, the hope would
He'll
be
have
that
real problems. He'll hate
yeah,
you.
It's probably
He'll-
brain damage from malnutrition. And
No.
I was just talking about teenager problems. You know,
Oh,
probably
look
have a
at
little
poor
African Big
Proofs.
E on your hands. Honestly.
Yeah. All right. If you want to take him in, I'm in. He's absolutely adorable. All jokes aside, he's absolutely adorable.
We need him.
I don't think they'd give him to me. They might give him to you, but they probably would not give Hope to me. I'm just guessing.
Probably not. No.
They might even deem my situation not livable.
Yeah.
You know,
might deem you a witch.
Yeah. I mean, they have dirt floors everywhere they are.
Well, the dirt base, of course, was real scary.
But I could give him water and Red Bull. It's better than
Looks
nothing.
like that's what he's holding before.
Yeah.
Hey, you ready to quit smoking once for all? You could give him a vape too.
Yeah.
Great Lakes Vapor is here to make that a reality. Their e-cigs are handmade and guaranteed for life. Check them out in person off Grand River in Brighton or off Orchard Lake in Farmington, or shop online at greatlakesvapor.com, and you can have everything you need mailed right to your door. Greatlakesvapor.com is the best place to order refills of all GLV juice, including the Detroit Cast juice, a big seller. Use the promo code DetroitCast. You'll get 10% off your online orders.
Poor witch.
I love him. I need him.
You want to hang on to it?
Yeah.
See if you can find Hope. Remember our friend? Can I get some muscle over here?
Oh yeah, the Missouri professor.
Can I get some muscle over here?
the journalism professor who didn't want to abide by the First Amendment. Yes, I do remember that one.
The Missouri Professor Click was her name, Melissa Click. And there's been new video that's popped up of her.
Oh no.
Yeah. The University of Missouri assistant professor was suspended last month after she pled guilty to sicking muscle. Can I get some muscle over here? I've got a couple that were covering covering the anti-racism rally that was going on there. Now police body cam footage has emerged of Click shouting and swearing at officers during an earlier protest. So not even the same one.
Same issue though.
Yeah. All the racism that's rampant on campus at Missouri. Now police, her conduct and behavior are appalling, and I am not only disappointed, I am angry that a member of our faculty acted this way, the interim chancellor, Hank Foley, told the Missourian. Her actions caught on camera last October are just another example of a pattern of misconduct by Dr. Click, most notably her assault on one of our students while seeking muscle.
Dr. Click.
Yeah. During a highly volatile situation in November. The footage shows Click at a protest October 10th when black Missouri students blocked homecoming parades and were shoved away, which led to the eventual resignation of the former president, university president Tim Wolf. We all remember that well. Students. So basically what happened, this is kind of the crux of where this all began. They were having a parade. And so these people decide that are part of this protest decide that, oh, we're going to make our voices heard no matter what. And so fuck everybody else's parade. We need to make a stand right now. And so they're going to go out into the middle of the street and block the parade traffic coming through.
You're kidding.
No, I wouldn't joke about that, Paul. So Tim Wolf is riding, just kind of doing the cupped wave hand to all the students, the robotic thing that they do. And all of a sudden these people just come crashing out on the scene. And so the cops are, they're there to do security. And they're like, everybody back. You cannot be in the middle of the street while the parade is coming through. And so they're moving it back, and she's standing guard. You can see her on body cam looking like an asshole. Back up. Get your fucking hands off me. Screaming at police as they're just trying to get her dumb ass off the streets. It's just so infuriating. And that confrontation is what led to that guy being fired when all the media got there, and it turned into a big story. And do you remember what the details of the horrific crimes of racism on campus?
Wasn't that the feces swastika
in one of the bathrooms?
Supposedly that somebody had driven by yelling the N-word.
Someone yelled the N-word.
That they could not ever.
Cotton balls too, right?
And
cotton balls. So when you think about this story that got the president of the school fired from his job for not handling these racist incidents properly, it was some kids apparently put some cotton balls on the ground outside one of the dorms. The swastika story
was never proven.
I don't believe, first off, because as we talked about at the time, that swastika apparently was wiped in shit, in human feces. In this day and age, who wouldn't have a picture of that? Mm-hmm. There's been zero proof that ever took place. And then someone, as he said, drove by on campus and yelled the N-word at random black students. And so what is he supposed to do about it? I don't understand what he's supposed to do about
There's
this.
definitely no proof, if that even happened, that it was members of the student body.
At bottom, you appoint a committee, and he didn't do that.
Yeah.
God forbid. I mean, if there was like a beat down going on, a bunch of white kids jumped a black kid because he's black.
If I remember, though, this is the guy who would get in his car and like rush off, and people would try to question him, and he'd like roll up the windows and stare straight ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't handle it very well.
And they met him after like the football game, and he's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I think that's where the started.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right. He saw a bunch of black people in his car. And he went, and then took off and got the hell out of Dodge.
Just get home.
Straight ahead, eyes straight, 10-2. Days after the confrontation, Click publicly said she regretted her actions and she apologized to Scheerbecker. He was the camera guy. That she needed some muscle over here.
But something just happened to her recently, though, in the last few weeks. Wasn't she reprimanded in some way? I know she was.
Yeah, we were talking.
She's suspended. She's not allowed on campus at all.
And she was like an adjunct, right? She wasn't a real professor there. Was that the deal?
Yeah,
they were trying to like distance themselves big time from her. Like, oh no, she's just kind of a visiting professor
from another school. But yeah, you're right.
I think the role that she was removed from was an unpaid position, but she was paid as a professor there for something else. So they were like, I think there are multiple parts to the campus, and she was part of this one paid and this one not paid. And so the not paid one is what they removed her from, and I think they're going to blow this bitch out from the other one too. As part of the journalism department. That's a real problem. So she remains suspended from her job pending a review by the Missouri System Board of Curators, Missouri, and is not allowed to step foot on campus. She has since admitted she made a mistake and said she would fight to be treated fairly to get her job back. Good luck with that, Ms. Click.
She was shrill. I remember that.
Oh, just so bitchy. Hated her. Anyway, let's take a quick timeout. Come back, and I don't know if you've paid attention at all, or if you care at all what's going on with Kanye West.
It's kind of weird. Everything he does is weird, but this is a newly charted territory.
Yeah, we'll get into that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey friends, it's me, Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zot Ford & Holly. As all of you know who have met me before, I'm no god or anything close to it. However, what I am is a TDC fan just like you. As a big thank you to the listeners who continue to show us a ton of love and support, I want to offer you the lowest payment on an F-150 I've seen in years. Right now, only at Zot Ford, you can lease the all-new 2016 Ford F-150 Super Crew. Yes, I said Super Crew XLT 4x4 for only $195 per month for 24 short months. Yes, just $195 for an F-150 Super Crew only at Zot Ford & Holly. Peep our outlandish deals and massive inventory at zotford.com.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroitcast. Mike and Jay.
Like we need the wee witch.
Look at that wee poops witch. Yeah, it's nice to at least both agree that as far as a mascot goes, we'd both be okay with getting that wee witch. Look at that poops.
We reflected on it on the break.
Yeah.
Has a decision been made? Is that
as far as like whether or not we would take this wee witch in?
Whether or not we will get this wee witch. Mike, we have to do everything possible.
Yeah, I'm for it. We can't call him Hope though.
No.
That's got to go
name immediately.
Yeah. What do we go with?
It'd be like when I got Babu, my favorite cat of all time.
Yeah, Babu was awesome.
Her name was Miss Molly when I got her.
Yeah, I can't go with Miss Molly.
No, immediately we'd change his name from Hope to, I don't know,
Bill,
Tyrone,
Therese.
I don't know. Doesn't look like, not Hope. Can't do that.
Wicked Witch.
No.
Look at that poops. Dude, we got to do something about his can. Can we get him butt implants?
I figure the first thing that'll happen, you put a little food in this guy and he'll start developing a can.
He had worms.
Did he really?
Yes, that witch was loaded with worms.
You're right. Riddled with worms.
Yeah.
After being forced to live off scraps thrown to him by passerbys.
These, like, it's not a Michael Brown memorial where passerbys are just chucking bears onto the pile. You can't just chuck food scraps to that wee witch. Look at that witch. Poor little guy.
Blood transfusions. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have some issues. And it takes guys like us. Be strong.
Does it take guys like us? Because I have a feeling
like
we could help him work through these issues.
If he doesn't stay in line, if this witch gets out of line and irritates me, though, it might be just like, dude, get your shit together or you got to go.
Was it Starvin' Marvin from South Park?
Starvin' Marvin, yeah. Yes. Remember Starvin' Marvin? He looks just like Starvin' Marvin. We could call him Marvin. Marvin the Witch. We mentioned Kanye West before the break.
And we don't normally do this.
No. I couldn't give a shit less.
Douche.
Yeah, what Kanye West is up to, but he seems to be going crazier than normal. Over the weekend, I guess it was, or late last week, he was tweeting out how he's $53 million in debt.
Yeah, you'd think a guy with an ego like that would never admit something like that publicly.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just openly asking for money. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to sell it like, oh, I'm so creative. I could do all these things. What is it? Like a clothing line he wants,
he's got
or some shit?
Dumb clothing line, which
he's been trying to push, by the way, for a while. Remember that? There's been a long time with this clothing line. I remember him being on he used to be a VJ on MTV, but he's now in Sirius. I can't think of his name. He always had the dreads.
Oh, Sway.
Yeah, and he was on there babbling on him how the man was the reason that he couldn't get one or something.
Or that his stuff sucks and it's never going to reach the masses. I mean, isn't that the goal?
Normcore.
To reach the masses? I mean, if you're going to make a pile of money with a clothing line, you have to have something that's going to appeal to more than 0.5% of people.
Right.
And that's unfortunately, whenever I've seen anything that's got Kanye's name on it, it's so tacky and gaudy. It's like, who the fuck would wear that?
I've never seen anything he's made.
Yeah, you're not missing out. He's tweeted now. It says what a great success it was. The billionaires are tweeting
coming out of the woodwork for him.
Yeah, he had a string of tweets saying, also for anyone that has money, they know the first rule is to use other people's money. That was one tweet. If I spent my own money on my ideas, I could not afford to take care of my family. I'm in a place that so many artists end up, but I need access to more money in order to bring more beautiful ideas to the world. Do you? Yes, I am personally rich and I can buy furs and houses for my family.
What happened to the whole I'm 53 million in debt?
Yeah.
Well, he's by the way, he's married to
that company or something. Like one company is just underwater, and so he's got to.
Yeah.
He wants money to fund that, but he's got his own money. He doesn't want to use it.
Right.
Got it.
Something like that. I want to help the world, and I need to help. I need help to do it. I'm an artist, and I care about humanity. I just feel rich people are always too cool to ask for help, to try to impress each other at dinner parties. I know I confuse you guys sometimes, but please bear with me. I'm ultra light I am ultra light beaming right now. So many people have called or emailed for help today. Hedge fund guys, billionaires, etc.
You know, we refer to this self-important attitude that these Hollywood figures have, but this guy takes it to another level, man. He's amazing.
I just can never determine, are we seeing the real him when he does this stuff? Is there some level of that he just, I'm not saying he's smarter than or that he's doing a play and he knows. But I just wonder, is this really what he thinks, man, on a regular basis?
I think it's all a stunt. I think everything this guy does is a calculated stunt, because here's the fact. You're Kanye West. You're married to Kim Kardashian. You are a multimillionaire many, many times over. If you want to get a hold of some millionaires and powerful people, if you want to get a hold of powerful people and hit them up for money, you don't need Twitter to do that. That's something like some struggling artist would do, not someone with access like Kanye West. Kanye West has more reach globally than almost anybody. If he wants to reach out to Mark Zuckerberg, I'm sure he can get a meeting with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to tweet and beg for money. It just seems comical. You know, I could see us doing that.
Yeah.
You know, that would make sense.
We're not above that.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mr. Zuckerberg, if you're listening, you want to help us out.
We often tweet it at large celebrities.
Yeah.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done?
Yeah, that tweet is ending up in my feed.
He's got AIDS
25 times.
I did it. You know what's funny? I switched up a little yesterday rather than just directly at him. I saw that Magic Johnson had tweeted out about like watching the Eagles reunion really makes me realize I missed my brother or whoever. I forget what the one that died, but whatever.
Glenn Fry.
Yeah.
Come on. She dated a very, very dear friend of ours. Have some respect.
You're right. My bad.
Glenn Fry was a love interest of goddammit's wife,
Margaret.
She's a good woman.
Yeah, of course.
She was good enough for Glenn Fry, but she said, "Fuck that eagle." She went with me.
That eagle.
Fuck the eagle. She's going with the Fuhrer.
I wonder.
Never regretted a second of that decision.
I'm sure about that.
Hasn't given me shit since Glenn Fry left.
So you played off that tweet instead.
But I replied to that tweet. And
wow,
just
that's
like,
sneaky.
Big.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
He has to be confused by seeing that. I mean, there's no way Big Magic Johnson isn't seeing it land in his Twitter feed 50 times a day with memes like he's got AIDS. Just bang, a picture of Donald Sterling declaring he's got AIDS. And when he had those AIDS,
he's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
I like to help minorities.
What has he done?
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done?
Those words that I don't mean.
Such hurtful things that I don't mean. Anyway, yeah, pathetic Kanye.
Very much so.
I just don't get it, dude. For a dude that gets, like you said, so he sells out. It's as if he's not given every opportunity. Just the biggest crazy person to play this card. Like he's not getting respect, or he's not, the industry isn't giving him his fair shake.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
He's Forbes puts Kanye's income at around 30 million a year, and Kim's income
actually
about
higher, but
28 million a year. Yeah, I would think they would both be higher than that. But dude, 58 million a year between the two of them. I think I could make that work. You?
I reckon I could. Yeah.
I mean, between me and Pants, look after Beth, obviously. Monster,
the wee witch.
Take care of the wee witch.
Well, the wee witch better be got his own house at that point.
Look at it, witch poops.
He doesn't eat much. Doesn't need many clothes.
No, they won't stay on him anyways. Poor poops.
To cinch everything up on that
really tight,
non-existent waist.
Need to get him a can transplant.
Hey, Zot Ford loves the Detroit Cast and has the best deals in town, period. We won't waste time talking about Big E's greasy plume, Chaz's athletic frame, or the King shouldering his life's challenges. Instead, simply get down to I-75 and exit 98, where right now you can get a 2016 Ford Fusion SE for just $109 a month for 24 months. Go check out their stupid deals and massive inventory at zotford.com.
You've seen this, speaking of poops, the story out of California of all the poops has gone missing.
Oh, jeez.
No.
The mountain lions are eating all the poops.
Can we have a limit of one poop story possibly? That's something that we could enable?
No, we can't. Unfortunately, sorry. Look at his poops.
Ooh.
Yeah, he finds your
Licking
cats
chops
and dogs delicious. Oh, he doesn't want to eat brown circles. They say a staggering amount of mountain lions legally killed last year. So they hunted and legally killed them. Were found to have eaten a domesticated pet. They're finding them in their tummies.
Wow.
Yeah. The Department of Fish and Wildlife in California carried out the study, which analyzed the stomach contents of 83 of the 107 mountain lions legally killed under provisions of special permits. 52%, unbelievable amount, they say for them. 52% were found to have eaten a dog or a cat or a wee witch.
It's unbelievable. The wee witch wandered for 2 years.
For 8 months.
Birds of prey. You got, animals like that. Africa. Come on.
Yep. As a contrast, deer, which is considered to be a favorite prey of the animals, was only present in like 5% of these cats.
Oh, they found a new little delicacy.
Yeah, it's easier to catch. It's easier to catch a cat or a dog than a deer. The shocking numbers were confirmed by the Department of Fish and Wildlife, who warned pet owners to keep their animals on leashes in parks, lands, and near open spaces. Coyotes are another predator owners are being told to protect their pets. So they're telling these people to go outside with your pet because the coyotes are known for sneak attacks. Like if you're just walking your dog, they'll come up behind you.
Wow.
And just be like, you're coming with me. And steal them. Or if you just let them loose in the backyard, they'll hop fences if they don't see you out there with it. So they'd say it serves as sort of a good deterrent to at least go in the backyard with your poops. Yeah.
Protect your Labradoodle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Living here, we don't think about that stuff. Obviously, we have the coyote, which can be an issue. But, like Florida and all that, you got the gators and the crazy snakes and shit. And then in California, mountain lions. Man.
They've been driven from their homes. Maybe if you put a McDonald's in the mountain for me, then I wouldn't eat your cat. Until then.
Do all proops talk like that?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's a alligator or
a
witch.
Any proops talks like that. Oh, man. I'm just starving up here.
Do you want to say something about Twin Peaks?
I did. Why spend time sitting in traffic going to the game when you could spend the afternoon watching the game in the ultimate sports lodge, Twin Peaks? At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You'll find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch right down to their ranch. Catch every big game at your local Twin Peaks. Good food, cold beer, big screens. I was thinking about going jogging outside.
No, you weren't.
But then you thought about going jogging outside.
Yeah, and then it was like, forget it. I can't do it. It's just too dangerous. It's too dangerous. And it's stories like this that tell me
stories like this. It's stories like this is going to kill this guy.
I was getting worked up for it. I was like, all right, I can do this. I got this shit. No, I didn't have my shoes
and I are going to
on.
walk in here and find this bloated body on his couch one morning.
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'll just be like, oh, he's just lying on the couch.
There's a driver that smashed into a guy who was jogging in Los Angeles. He was in the bike lane doing his thing, just out for a stroll, and this guy just came barreling through this dude, and he ended up on his hood, and then the guy smashed him through a wall. And some
on
guy's
the driver's
property.
defense, he probably couldn't see once the guy's on his windshield.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a fair point. Police say the victim was carried across the hood for several yards before crashing into a wall. They said that he maybe did it intentionally. They don't know.
Just jogging along, right?
Yeah, but that's
out for a run.
That doesn't happen when you're on the treadmill or the couch. It just doesn't.
Yeah, but blood
right?
clots do on the couch.
Heart attacks.
Yeah, that's okay. I can live with that. Maybe.
Gangrene. Bed sores.
Gangrene.
I don't know.
He's not been formally charged with a crime yet.
For sure.
They said they want detectives to interview him before we determine what he's going to be charged with. The victim was jogging in the bike lane when the driver just nailed him at 6 a.m.
Is that allowed, jogging in the bike lane?
I don't know. I don't have a bike lane around me, so I don't really know. But
they've got him wrapped up there neatly next to the car.
Oh, he blew through he went.
That's on someone's property. He's got bushes up, kind of like disguising.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so brutal.
So I'm back off the. Yeah. I'm not going jogging outside.
Yeah, you looked like when we were at the Palace yesterday. You might think about moving at some point here in the next year. The way you approach that basket, you grab the ball, and I thought, wow, this is good. Mike's
activity there.
Yeah, but no, done now.
I'm done. Yeah, done. Texas is getting ready to execute someone today.
All right, we go Texas.
He spent 26 years on death row.
Slow down, Texas.
I know. What are they? It's taking forever. They've got a bunch of guys lined up, though. They got like 9 of them in the next few months that are just
the 3-drug cocktail.
Yeah, I guess lethal injection. So whatever their cocktail is. But yeah, 42-year-old guy too. So he was And so what's 42 minus 26, E?
Oof. Funny.
16? I don't know.
Damn.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Convicted of killing a liquor store clerk, accused in a similar fatal holdup a month later, is set for execution. Gustavo Garcia. He'd be the third prisoner executed in Texas this year so far. A federal judge said Friday he will not stop the execution. The Board of Pardons and Paroles refused a clemency petition. Garcia's attorneys had argued that this guy he came from a family with drugs and alcohol, man. Show some compassion.
He was only 16.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, whatever, dude. You can't just shoot a guy in the face. Sorry. At least 9 other inmates have dates set, including 3 in March. So, yeah, it's going to be a good month.
Big month.
Garcia has spent more than half his life on death row. He shot this convenience store clerk, Craig Tursky, in the abdomen. And then he reloaded his gun and shot the cashier in the back of the head.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's the reloading, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
you can get away with shooting someone in the abdomen. But
yeah. Ooh, stand there and reload.
Yeah. And then back of the head, some guy. Execution
a
style.
certain intent.
A month later, another employee, I think at the same place, Gregory Martin, was shot in the head after he was taken to a back room. A statement to police, Garcia, he said he ordered Tursky. I ordered Tursky to his knees. When the customer entered the store, I panicked. So I shot him with the shotgun.
Blame the customer.
That's true. I don't know if the customer was on trial for anything. I'm not sure if they charged him in that. But and then on Thanksgiving in 1998, Garcia and 5 other inmates were scaling. They tried to break out of death row.
Oof.
One of them actually got away. They shot at these guys on the wall, and so they came down. But one dude actually got over. They said it's the first one to escape death row since someone in Bonnie and Clyde's gang.
Damn.
In the 30s. And they found him drown in a river like a week later. So he didn't get very far. But, yeah. At least I can say I tried, Garcia said. A for effort. Yeah, why not? What do you have to lose at that point? And then remember the old lady I was telling you guys about the other day, the Granny Ripper, the Russian woman?
Oh, yeah.
I talked about her having the head
in
a
crock pot?
Dude, yeah. She was in the news today. There's the images.
Oh, gross.
In that pan right there.
There's a head?
There's a head and hands. There's hands and a head in that pan.
This is a Russian lady, right?
Yes. Wow. Yeah, she's a piece of work. Look at that face. Ooh, talk about a witch.
Yeah. That's Central Casting witch.
Mm-hmm. She's been dubbed the Granny Ripper. That's like all the headlines call her the Granny Ripper. She's been sent to a notorious Soviet-era psych hospital after
I have not seen your Nana this happy in years.
After refusing to tell police how she killed her victims. So she's not playing ball with them. So they sent her to a psych place. Her name's Tamara Samsonova. She's 68 years old. She looks a hell of a lot older than 68, doesn't she?
She really does.
I mean, she looks closer to 168 than 68.
Yeah, well, but she's not.
Stand down, sir. Stand down, sir.
You cunt!
Ooh, fail.
You're not
You misfired. You shot right over my head.
I don't think he did. I think that was a warning shot to get you off the track. I think.
She was charged with murder after she was filmed carrying a saucepan containing the boiled head and hands of her friend. Boiled.
What are we doing? What are people? Why?
She dismembered the corpse with a handsaw and removed other body parts in bags. She confessed to murdering this Valentina Ulanova in her apartment by poisoning her salad to make her drowsy.
We're so advanced. God.
But refused to cooperate with investigations. She's suspected of killing like 11 more people, too.
Dude, dismemberment just puts you on a whole nother level, doesn't
it? Yeah, it
so
really does.
She poisoned her salad. Yeah,
yeah.
Chipotle did the same thing.
Well, you can always think...
little poop in the salad.
You're right. What's the difference? No, you could always just think that, like, you know, whatever. They wanted the money, this or that. But the dismemberment...
Oof, just chilling.
It adds so much more deviance to it. And you're right.
The fact that you're capable of that.
Yeah.
She,
they said that it's been difficult to connect her to the other murders because they cannot find the remains. We may never know the extent of this granny's killings. She's suspected of butchering several of her lodgers at the hotel there.
And didn't she bury
apartment.
some of them right outside, like in the gardens?
Yeah. Yep. Which is how they initially found her. Her husband and her mother-in-law all vanished suddenly. Samsonova has been sent on board a specially guarded train to a high-security Kazan Psych prison hospital for detailed assessment prior to a trial. The institution, known for its severe regime, was used by Stalin's secret police chief to shut away political prisoners during the Soviet era.
I'm surprised Russia would put up with something like that, like just off her ass. Firing squad now.
Yeah. Well, they probably want more information out of her. So far, she is charged with just one murder. There are fears that apartment blocks have been built on the grounds where she's buried other people. So what do? Do you tear down the apartments to find the remains of these people? They're investigating people who were known to her and disappeared dating back 20 years. It's also known that she had a bizarre diary. She wrote like in German, she wrote in Russian, English, but it has not provided clues as to the whereabouts of these bodies. I killed my tenant, Volodya, cut him to pieces in the bathroom with a knife, put the pieces of his body in plastic bags, and threw them away in different parts of district. She did write that in there.
Wow. God.
Blood believed to be from another guy named Sergei was reported to have been found in her bathroom, but so far she's not been charged with his murder. She admitted to an old school friend, Anna Bettelina, that she had been under suspicion of killing her mother-in-law. Her husband vanished over a decade ago, and she told police at the time that he met another woman, which they think is bullshit. Miss Bettelina also claims she could have ended up as a victim after Samsonova flew into rage with her, screaming, "I'll kill you. I'll cut you to pieces. I will throw the pieces out for the dogs. Don't make me angry."
Why not just own them all at that point? You know, it's like, you caught me with a boiled head.
Yeah.
I admitted in my diary cutting this guy up.
Well, they said that she does like the attention, like when journalists were there covering this.
So she wants to draw it out.
Maybe, she's obviously sort of crazy. If you're cutting off heads and hands and boiling them and stuff. And I guess that's to remove identification. I think that's why they suspect she was doing that. But when the journalists were there, she was like, "I will be popular and famous." She was saying to journalists. I
mean, that's all you got. You might as well go down swinging, right? I'm the best murderer ever.
Well, she was apparently had a fascination with this Soviet serial killer, Andrei Chikatilo, who he was executed in 1994. He was the worst ever maniac in Soviet Union's history, a bloodthirsty vampire.
Ooh, vampiric.
Yes. He murdered, sexually assaulted, and cannibalized at least 55 people in a reign of terror.
What?
Yeah, stretching over a dozen years. This psychopath violated the bodies of his victims, chopping off their tongues, bursting their eardrums, and gouging out their eyes, which he feared had logged his image. So he thought their eyes, they saw him, so he'd gouge out their eyes. God damn it.
What time frame was that? Was it
over 20 years, and he was executed in 1994, so going back to the 60s or 70s. She gathered information about him and how he committed his murders, was also obsessed with black magic literature. So
she was a witch.
So when you're asking, like, what's the problem with witches? Well,
front and center.
That's what you need to be aware of, is that witches are capable of stuff like this, especially if they get into black magic literature.
Marvin's not a witch.
You don't know that. Look at it, wee witch poops. Look at it, wee witch.
Got to mention the Amazon link.
Please. Amazon.
Please use our link. It's on DetroitCast.com.
Amazon.
It's an awesome way to donate to the show. You just shop Amazon as you normally do. And as long as you enter through our portal on DetroitCast.com, we get a bit of a kickback from the company. So it's a great way to donate. Please use it.
Have you seen Whole Foods story going around?
Oh, about the tattoos?
Yeah, that they're thinking about putting stuff like tattoo parlors in some of their stores. I guess they've got a new 365 stores that they're doing with some cheaper food, and they're looking for other business like record stores maybe and tattoo parlors. Like, are you kidding me?
Are tattoos like still as popular as they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
I think so. I think they're as popular as ever.
Really?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're still very, very popular. But if you're getting a tattoo at Whole Foods, you're a dork.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So
you're
there's
a
some street
dork.
cred.
Well, you're going to get your record, and then you're going to get some, tattoo, and then your organic whatever. I mean, it's all hipster shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're talking about a record store and then a tattoo parlor. I mean,
Yeah. Ugh. You're
all the vibe,
you're a dork
man.
though. If you're getting a tattoo or if you're even thinking about getting a tattoo at Whole Foods, you're a dork.
Whole Foods.
Big fan?
I'm trying to think, like, aren't there two? What is it? Trader Joe and Whole Foods. I always
Yeah.
get them mixed up.
Yeah.
I think I've had like lunch at Whole Foods. Like they have a really good, you can go
Yeah.
through and get all sorts of different foods, right? Super overpriced though.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right place?
Yep.
Probably,
Or-
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So anyway, look forward to that. If you're looking for a shawarma sandwich and a tattoo,
Wasn't Whole Foods
got you
too the one
covered.
that a few years ago went downtown? Like it was a big news because they got it downtown
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think so.
Good for
yeah.
them.
Yeah. I get them confused too. Trader Joe's and Whole
Yeah.
Foods, but I think that was a Whole Foods that went downtown. Anyway, should we get to some email?
Mike, we have some email.
What do we got?
But before we get to that, we need to tell you about our buddy Merck.
Please.
You know him well. I know him
I
well.
do.
Your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a comprehensive financial plan can be a bit of a balance act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today. Tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark. E, did you want to add something?
If I could just say,
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
nailed it.
Yeah, give Merck a call. This no cost, no obligation thing he's talking about. He'll look at whatever you have, either with a different financial advisor or if you don't have something, he'll look and just set up a plan and tell you whether your current one's a good one and no obligation. He's a good dude. Definitely give him a call. I am getting slammed on my sleepwear.
As you should.
Yeah, we've rarely had a topic that's garnered so many comments. I don't know. I'll just throw some in here. Dan writes in the smug one, the king's king and the retard. I'm totally on Mike's side on the whole bedroom wardrobe debate. For bed, I strip as many articles of clothes off as I can, usually ending just shy of taking the underwear off. But hey, if I'm really feeling in the mood, those will come off too. I have a toddler now, so those opportunities are a lot less now, but I take them when I get them. My only fear is when I go all the way that I'm going to be woken up by my door being broken into and being stuck on my knees, butt ass naked with a gun pointed at me. But hey, fingers crossed that hasn't happened yet. Love the show as always. Bye, BUI, Dan. See, that's the thing to me is the kids, even if I was into this, and I don't care if I was single or married, no kids, I wouldn't be nude, but that would concern me. I have a lot of people
not nude.
I have a lot of people chiming in though who are in, states of almost complete undress. And you have those times, man.
Well,
if you
there
have a
was
kid,
a time when you lived with Gab and you didn't have kids.
that's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't have then, but especially now with kids, because there are those nights where you're just sleeping, you're dreaming away, and you're like, I feel someone near me, someone standing by the bed. It's a weird thing.
Really?
Yeah.
And there's just
someone
sweet pie
standing there, and then you open your eyes, and there's one of them right in your face. Dad, I had a bad dream, or Dad, I don't feel good. And you're like, ah! It's like I'll look over and it's Sweet Pie, and her silhouette looks like Cousin It.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
been freaked out big time by Sweet Pie.
Oh,
because a
so
lot
you
of
gotta
times
lock the door.
they'll
Keep those
stand
things
there
out.
like silent and barely like touch you. It's really ghost like.
Yeah,
it creeps me out, man.
Yeah. I would swing,
dude. I know.
Seriously,
it's that frightening.
self-defense and swing.
Who else we have? We've got Amanda writes in. Seriously, who would have thought that our favorite monsters are total pussies? On episode 524, you had a conversation about sleeping in the nude and how preposterous it is.
It is.
That people would sleep sans clothing. Why would you sleep with clothes on? It gets you all twisted up and sweaty. And how would anyone have free access to the titties, vagine, and panous? The panusal meat. I have to say I'm disappointed, but challenge the king, Miguel, and the Tard to try sleeping without clothes for a night. It's liberating. Thanks for all you do.
I feel weird. I've done it in the nude, and I don't like that. I just like wearing, the boxer briefs. I wear boxer briefs.
That's what I do in warm weather. Boxer briefs, but my thing is the shirt. I just feel weird shirtless.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't when I'm in bed. Because I feel like that. Was that a guy or a girl? You get I don't know, it gets twisted up and you wake up and half the shirt is spun around and it's weird.
You're doing it wrong.
Get off me. Get off me.
Twisted up.
Yeah.
What are you doing in bed?
Linda writes in, hi guys, same as Mike, nude ever since my 20s. Can't even imagine being able to sleep with any clothes on. Linda, P.S.
Nice,
same
Linda.
with my husband. We've been married 5 years.
Nice, Linda.
Oh, Linda.
Images or it didn't happen.
Steve writes in, I sleep in my boxers and only my boxers. Weirdos.
Steve.
Yeah, so there's Shane, same thing. Basketball shorts and my underwear, he says, but no shirt.
Yeah. I see doing that.
I don't know, dude.
You guys are weird. Otherwise, there'd be a shitload of people jumping in your defense.
Nobody supported me. Nobody said like, yeah, long. What they don't need to be flannel pants. You know what I mean? Though they're just like
generic pajama pants, but they're not like the old school pajama
like
pants.
Even like is it jersey material? You know, where it's just like cotton,
like slick.
No, not like that slick like football jersey. I think it's called jersey though. It's just 100% cotton.
Yeah, okay.
You know, where it's not flannel.
What you're sitting in right
You
now,
wearing
you could
skids
sleep
to bed?
I'm not wearing skids.
You're wearing skids to bed.
But yeah, it's the t-shirt, dude. You gotta have the t-shirt. But
I could never sleep without a tee.
Does Gab wear anything?
Yeah, Gab wears
she's not wearing a bra.
No.
Hell no.
But she's wearing like a tank top or something. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just never.
I could not do it without a t-shirt either, dude. I couldn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know,
try
of course,
it.
No, it's cold.
And is there something like mildly perverted about like everybody being nude? And I don't know, man. Like,
there's not. It's about comfort.
I think no. See, that's the thing. I'm on
like,
with him on this.
rub my dick against the bed. You know, it's like what?
I'm
wearing underwear.
I know you are, but I'm saying these people writing in, oh, you got to be nude.
Yeah, that's
kind of
creepy. It's sort of creepy.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, it is.
A little bit. It's not just comfort.
I mean, unless you're
There's
just
something
flat out
there.
exhausted from just getting it on so hard.
Yeah.
so long
the fully
that
nude.
you just pass out like that. I mean, that happens.
It's happened to all of us, of course. Well, not me, but
the fully nude, there is some level, dude, of sexualness to it. It cannot just be if you're sleeping fully nude. It's got to be on some level.
Yeah, it's something beyond comfort. There's a little something going on there. James writes in, oh my God, Jay, exactly the same scenario for me. I remember the Star Wars Christmas show. Where can I watch it? What was the site that you saw it on?
I don't know how I even got signed up with this group, but LSG Media just on Facebook. And somehow I was just getting like things like people would post, whatever. And but I'm sure if you just Google or go to YouTube and search it, Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah, Chewbacca or whatever.
Yeah.
Wookiees.
Yeah, but they posted, when was that? 3 weeks ago or something that it popped up on there?
Yep. Ed writes in, guys, I just wanted to write in and say, screw Jordan the pilot. What do pilots make? Like 200 G's a year, and he can't come up with more than $69 a month? How about 1 to 1.5? How about 1 to 1.5 less airport hotel hookers a year, and he could donate the $500 he talked about? That is all good day.
I've always heard that pilots don't make as much as we think they make, but maybe I'm wrong.
I've never had an opinion on how much pilots make.
No,
the fact of the matter is 1.5 less hookers for Jordan, and he could definitely make a donation.
Well, Jordan can do more. Everybody can do more.
Everybody can do more.
You all, including whoever emailed that in, can do more.
Alex did his part. He got us on the Pistons floor.
Yeah.
Everybody can do a little more.
Yep.
Curtis writes in, old joke, what's better than 2 roses on your piano?
Tulips on your organ.
Got it. That, of course, harkens back to my Valentine's Day gift.
Yep.
Or Gab's Valentine's
Tulips. Sending
Day
a
gift
message
to me, however you want to look at it. Heidi writes in, Chuck and Dave the Freak is the subject matter. The show is horrific. She says the only way they could possibly be rated as high as they are is because radio in Detroit sucks nowadays, and there's not much to choose from or compare it to. Most radio is aimed at ignorant people who love to hear about someone cheating on their significant other or hip-hop bullshit. When a podcast is highly rated, it's actually something to be proud of because people have thousands upon thousands of podcasts to choose from. P.S. You can make fun of my grammar because I know it. Oh, I would never do that, Heidi. Your grammar was impeccable.
Was it?
Why did she say that you could make fun of it, though? Was there an answer
Must
to that?
not have been so impeccable. That's all right.
Sometimes
just
I need to rewrite these things. But
it means she's hot. That's all. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. I agree. There isn't much to listen to in Detroit. No doubt about it.
James writes in, and James announces that he is definitely not James the preacher. So you know that. I'm going to skip the beginning email pleasantries and get right to it. My anger at Eric is indescribable.
Oof.
The fact that he would take a knee on this cell phone story is infuriating. I get that he doesn't want to tell the story, but my man from a few days ago cashed in his producer for a day credit for Eric to tell said story, and E denied him.
Oh, there are people out there that know the story. I told some of the monsters on accident. I had a few beers. E, what are you going to do?
On accident. Yeah, right.
Totally on accident. Slipped.
The man that gave his hard-earned money so that retard Eric could pursue his dream of radio, and now he's not going to do it. I remember when the Kickstarter was starting up and that reward was explained as it was advertised as he'll talk about anything, even Eric's crazy stories.
I never said that.
Fans come to E's comedy shows and support him, yet he continually takes a knee, and this knee is far worse than most. It is clear to me that Eric doesn't appreciate or care about the listeners or his fans.
You're probably right.
His fans.
Perception is reality.
Ooh.
I'm just
Some
going to
shots taken.
question the premise there. His fans. The show supposedly wouldn't be the same without him, but screw him. Fire his ass. Enough people have asked for it. His disrespect for listeners is clear. It's a clear sign he's not deserving to be an entertainer, and mopping might actually be down his alley. Good day, sir. I said good day.
E response?
I don't have a response. I was not, for one, I'm not the main person. There's 2 other people on this show.
Floor is yours, E.
Right. There's 2 other people on this show. The stipulation of the producer was not about that. It wasn't, including Eric's crazy stories. It was, hey, call in and give us a topic and we'll talk about it. Any topic.
Any topic. You just said it. Any topic. So if he chooses
any topic,
if he chooses Biggie's,
I'll talk about it. I just won't tell you the story.
Phone story. Lost phone story.
Can talk
That's
about
very
it.
douchey. That was a very douchey angle you just took.
And it's being built up now because it's not even that great of a story.
That's the thing. It's become this thing. And
it seems like a weird stance to take.
Yeah, because he's told way worse stories. I contend it is because he directly told his mother something different. He looked into her eyes and he promised her. Good morning. He promised her that was what happened to his phone, and that is how he procured a new one. Now to go back on it,
you're right.
Be in big trouble.
There's something involving a promise to my mom that's on this one. So, that's what it is.
There it is.
Say no more.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
All right. Should we call it an early day?
Yes.
Yeah. We've got an interview to get to, so we should do that. Sorry if people were expecting 2 hours today. We'll come up a little bit short, but that's okay. We could have filled that 20 minutes with E's story, but
sorry.
Can't do it. Won't do it. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging with us. He does have a comedy special if people want to still go support him. Is that next Saturday?
Yeah, the 27th.
The 27th, which looks like a good lineup. You're putting it together at Laugh Tracks and Nova.
Dude, you know what? I get it, man. I know people always say this to me like, oh, you don't, it's not that I don't care, people, of course, but it is what it is, dude. I'm not a professional comic. If you want to come out, I think it will be a fun time. If you don't want to come out and support me, that's fine too. That's your choice. Don't do this thinking that I'm, for one, going to be professional, by the way. I enjoy it. It should be a fun time. It's the 27th. All the comics coming are from Grand Rapids, so that's kind of cool. Something different for you guys even if you go to open mics around here.
And at Laugh Tracks in Novi. 8 o'clock start?
Yes. And then I got a few other ones coming up in Flint in March. If you guys are in the Flint, anyone's in the Flint area.
This guy is such a total pussy. It's stunning.
No question. I think some people from Zotford are going to come out to that one, so that should be interesting. But
cool.
Come on, Big E. Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, with that, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow.